Hey guys, it's Kerbal again, and today we're starting another episode of KSC Aerospace, and we're going to be making a new plane today. And today I've realized from my last video that I did, Random Rocket Flip Out, beautiful name, that it would be a good idea to probably do something with, like, make it fast-forwarded and just have post-commentary. And I'm going to do that, but I would like to do the thing where I tell you what we're going to be doing in real time, because I think that would be a better idea. Now, what we're going to be doing today is we are building a supersonic bomber. Now, a high-speed bomber would be effective in these cases, and I'll be telling you guys about that in post-commentary. Why I need to make a high-speed bomber, and but we do have some requirements for this, and those requirements are: it must be able to travel supersonic, and supersonic speeds in meters per second is 340.29 meters per second, and that's a lot. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, but I can try. And it must be able to carry one laser bomb. Now, not laser bomb S, but a full laser bomb, so it can drop these. Now, if I bring multiple of them, then that'd be even better, but you don't really need multiple of them, because when you drop one, then it basically just destroys everything in a giant sphere. So there's really no point in having two, at least not one on each wing, because when you drop one, it's just going to flip out and then be more heavy on one side and then want to go crazy. So, there you go, guys. A plane needs to be supersonic and can do stuff that we just talked about. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to go into post-commentary me now. See my real self later, I guess. And there we go. Bye, guys. Hello, post-commentary me. And, yeah, hello, normal you guys. And so, yes, this is the plane I'm making today. So, yeah, I had some fun flying it. But as you can see, I'm using straight wings. Now, some people might say, why are you using square wings? Why would you do that? Because everybody knows that swept wings are much more efficient when going at high speeds. And that is true when talking about real life, but when talking about Kerbal Space Program, that's not necessarily the case. In Kerbal Space Program, wings don't really provide different speed things. Now, these ones might provide more drag. I don't actually think so. I think they provide the same drag. So there's really no point in not using square wings, because in my opinion, they're just so much easier to get on the center of lift when you do square wings. And so that's why I'm using them instead. I'm just kind of taking advantage of weird KSP physics. Yeah, so now let's talk a bit more about what I'm doing here, like in a picture as a whole. Now, I'm trying to make a plane that can go supersonic / hypersonic speeds. Now, supersonic speeds, as I probably mentioned, is 340.29 meters per second. And what's the advantages of having a plane that goes this fast? I mean, why would you want it? Well, one, it can go places very quickly. Like, say, in a real-world example, you had one of these planes stationed at Washington, D.C., and there was a terrorist threat down in Seattle, Washington. It would only take a couple hours. Well, it would take a little bit longer than a couple hours, but with a plane quick enough, you could fly down to Seattle, Washington, get rid of the problem, and then fly back. If you needed this particular plane, I mean, of course, there's planes in Seattle anyways, and you could just use those, but, you know, it's kind of an example. Now, that's one reason, is because it can go quickly and move places fast, but there's other reasons, and it's because you can't shoot a plane if you don't even know it's there. Now, most ways to fix this is with stealth, but some planes, they just decide to go in, barge in as quick as they can, destroy everything, and then fly out. Now, that's what my strategy is with this plane, is just to make it so fast that nobody can actually do anything about it. And so right now I'm trying to put some engines on it. I think about circular intakes, and then I get an amazing idea that would make the plane look absolutely boss. Well, after I put the engine on it. But, and you guys will see it in a minute. So yeah, like a plane that goes so fast, it won't even be able to be shot down. Kind of like with the SR-71 Blackbird and the way that it worked. Just, you know, it flies by and no missiles can catch up to it so fast. And that's kind of the idea of this. It flies up high and really quickly and drops the bomb at such high speeds that nobody really knows what hit them, and everything wins. Now, I explained this a little bit more on real-time commentary, so I'm not going to go too in-depth into it. And it's kind of a simple concept. I mean, like kind of like those AT&T commercials. Faster is better, right? So it doesn't need much explanation. But this looks really good so far. I really like how the intakes work that way. And I've never thought about doing that before, but it's a really good idea actually. So I like the intakes that I put on there. And then I have to get the wings all centered up, but overall, it looks quite nice, and this is why I like the B9 Aerospace mod, you guys, is because of this. Now, you can tell that all the stuff that I'm building right here, you could make in vanilla Kerbal Space Program, right? You could do this in vanilla. It's not that hard. It just takes a little bit more work because there's less parts and stuff, but you can do it, no doubt about it. The only reason that makes the B9 Aerospace mod so good is not because of the parts, because all the parts you can make in normal Kerbal Space Program, really, but the reason that makes this mod so good is the way it looks. Okay guys, it's back to normal commentary me, or whatever you want to call it. But here's the plane I've come up with for my first design, and I don't think it will be able to break the sound barrier, but I can always add more engines and stuff later. I'm just testing to see if this idea will work. I'm using big, huge wings to give it lots of lift because I mean, you don't really need to have swept back wings to give you more speed in Kerbal Space Program. It's just the way things work. So, let's go. And it's not going too fast yet. Alright, there we go. So remember, we're going to have to get to 340 meters per second to get the speed to the sound barrier. And, yeah, let's see if we can actually do that. I don't think that this plane will actually be able to do that, and if it can, then this can be a very small or short episode. Let's see if we can even get off the ground. I forgot to add ailerons and the bombs, so I have absolutely no idea if this would work. But it has elevators, so it should be able to at least get off the runway. Oh, I feel lift. Woohoo, it actually flies. And it flies quite nicely, I might add. It's a little bit nose heavy, but only a little bit. Alright, let's see how far we can push this thing. Now, I was thinking about maybe using the Robotics mod, actually, just to make it look nicer, to actually have the wings sweep backward in flight. I thought that would look really cool. I'm not holding the keyboard at all, and it's just flying straight. That's beautiful. Wonderful. Alright, let's see. Uh-oh, getting a little off course here. Let's fly upward and see if we can get up maybe into this lower stratosphere, and then we'll dive down and see if we can get to the speed of sound. Already at a third of the way there, which is good, but we're going up right now, so it should be slowing us down there. Yeah, this plane, the trick to it is it's very lightweight, has a lot of lift and very powerful engines, so I'm hoping that that will make it able to do stuff. It might not be very might not be very long ranged, considering that I think we're using a lot of fuel actually. Oh no, we're not. These jet engines are still really efficient, but we're still using about 10 fuel per minute, and that's quite a bit more than that, and that's not very good. Wait, oh wait, I didn't actually see how much it is. Liquid fuel, 0.3 per second. So that's not very wonderful fuel consumption for an aircraft. But yeah, it's actually flying insanely well. The first episode would have been too long, and this one is just too short. I guess. I don't think it can actually get to the speed of sound still. I don't know. But as the post-commentary me has probably already explained, The reason for a high-speed bomber would be because it could just come in, drop its payload, and then come out really quickly, without much explaining to do. It's kind of like the Blackbird strategy, the SR-71, where basically they were thinking about, well, Lockheed, when they were coming up with a plane, yes, they sit down at a table and say, what plane should we make next? No, they had a plane ordered, and when they were thinking of how to make a spy plane that was really effective, well, what we could do is we could make it stealth so that it can't be seen, but then some guy had the brilliant idea of making it, well, why don't we just make it so fast that no missile can catch it? And that's what they did, and it worked, but going that fast is a little bit of a problem. Going Mach 3 means you're going to heat up and melt and all kinds of stuff. They even engineered the plane so that it would leak, so that when it takes off of the runway, all the fuel would leak down on the runway and just make a big mess. But when it gets in the air and goes fast, then the hole would heat up and expand and cover the leak. So, yeah, fun fact there for you. But, yeah, I'm kind of using the same strategy here, but it's not really for the missiles much. It's more of that no one's really going to know what hit them. The plane just comes in, drops the bomb, and leaves. I mean, they might have the time to shoot a missile at it, and it would probably use some countermeasures, but there's not much time to prepare for it, because it just comes in and destroys stuff. And it's so fast, I mean, just, yeah. Now, I was going to base this off of a certain airplane, and not a real one, but one from a video game, but it doesn't look anything like it. It's completely different, but it's the same idea as this plane now. If anybody here has played Command & Conquer General's 0 Hour, then you'll know what I'm talking about. The game is really amazing, and honestly should get more credit than it does. But there's this plane in it called the Aurora, and it's swept wing. It's really fast. It takes off of the runway, and it can fly around at hypersonic speeds. Now, hypersonic is about 5 times the speed of sound, and I could actually go and look up on Google right now how many in meters per second that is. But basically, it would just fly around, and it carries one really powerful bomb, and you can tell it to attack something, and nothing can destroy it because it's so fast. No missiles can catch up to it. Bullets, they always end up shooting right behind it. At least that's when it's flying in a straight line. But when it drops its bomb, it basically turns at like a 45-degree angle, drops the bomb, and then does a complete U-turn and then flies back to where it took off from. But when it does that U-turn, it slows down, and on its return flight, it's a lot slower. So it's actually possible to shoot down then. But it's really fun to get Auroras just to tease your enemies with, just to fly the plane over their base, and then just in a straight line, and they can't shoot it down. I mean, you can when it's going straight, but it takes a lot of missiles, and they have to kind of like corner the plane, so to say. One has to shoot like at the miss perfectly right in front of it, so that it actually hits. It's kind of complicated, but yeah. So that's kind of what the idea is based off of here, but it's completely different looking. I actually tried making an Aurora in vanilla Kerbal Space Program. I failed. It was supposed to be a space plane, but it doesn't necessarily work. It is a shame. Alright, we're almost at 200 meters per second, and we're not coming down yet, which is quite nice. I mean, it takes a long time to speed up, or to accelerate, but when we get into the stratosphere, we should actually be able to accelerate at nice speeds. Now, I'm kind of dreading the moment when I have to put the bomb on this, because it flies so nicely. I really don't want to ruin that by putting a bomb on it, but oh well. Okay, guys, looks like this actually might take a while as far as getting into space goes. So, I am going to just kind of skip to the moment when it's in the stratosphere, so that you guys can see that then. And there we go. Just see you guys then. Okay, guys, here we are, almost in the stratosphere, and we're at 300 meters per second, and it's just about to get to that supersonic barrier. I do not have atmospheric effects on. Honestly, I've looked through it, and I cannot find a way to turn them on. Maybe my computer just can't handle it, because my graphics card is so bad. But 330 and 340. 40.3. There we go. Supersonic speeds. Okay. Yeah, you broke the sound barrier. How does it feel, plane? And it's not even into the stratosphere yet, so it's actually going very fast. Now, I'm going to still have to make some changes to it. I'm going to have to put the bomb on it and then test this again. I'm going to have to put some ailerons on it because now it's turning and I can't correct it. And that's really the only things I'll have to fix. Then I'll have to trim adjust that and stuff. So there we go. We're in the stratosphere and we're going through it quite quickly. Alright, I want to see just how fast I can get this thing to go in a dive. But going at this speeds, it could go across, 400 meters per second. Woohoo! It could go across Kerbin probably in maybe an hour. I don't know if it keeps accelerating. I don't think it has enough fuel to go across Kerbin, but maybe if I attach some drop tanks or something to it. Alright, well there you go, guys. We can do this, but real quick, I'm gonna get it up to maybe 16,000 meters, and then I'm gonna drop it just straight down, or no, I'm gonna go to 500 meters per second, and I'm just gonna drop it straight down at full throttle and see how fast I can get it to go. Alright, are you ready, plane? Almost there. 500 meters per second. Come on, let's do this. This thing's going really fast. Okay, let's do this, plane. And I'm going to see if I can push it to hypersonic speeds when I'm done with this. Might take a bit of work, but I'm sure I could. This thing's going real fast. And down we go! Bloop. Go to 90 degree, or not 90, but 45. It wants to pitch up. It's going so fast upwards that it's just not going downwards quick enough. And let's see if SAS can hold it there. Oh, SAS can't even hold it there. Wow. This thing, it wants to glide down. It's a glider. It's a high-speed glider. Yes, that makes sense. Oh my god, it's going at almost 600 meters per second now. This is pretty amazing. Imagine if you were, like, you just looked up out of your backyard and saw one of these things come down out of nowhere and just destroy everything. I mean, you wouldn't even be able to see it. It's going so fast. Alright, we're about to get into the troposphere where things are going to get real interesting as far as speed goes. And it's turning purple. What? Why do I get this bug? I haven't seen a single person who's gotten this bug besides myself. There's KSC. Say hello. But I've learned to deal with it. It only stays purple for a little while. And it looks really weird when you're trying to land on Eve and then your rocket turns purple. Because the atmosphere is purple and it just kind of blends in and you have no idea what's going on because your rocket looks like it just disappears. Then you see a little area that's a little pinker than usual and you're like, oh, well, there's my rocket. Why is it slowing down? Oh, it's because I'm turning away from my prograde marker, isn't it? Nope, it's because I'm getting into the troposphere, and apparently in the troposphere it slows down because of all the drag. Huh, that's weird. I would expect it to speed up faster because there's, I don't know why. It's closer to gravity, I guess. But there is more air resistance, so that does make sense. But 500 meters per second, or 600 meters per second, I'll have to look up if that's anywhere. I'm actually, it's not hypersonic. I know that because hypersonic is 5 times speed of sound. Pretty sure, anyways. And that speed of sound is 330.3. No, we're gonna lose speed of sound. Oh well. There it is. It goes. But yeah. Then I'm pretty sure that's not 5 times it. But anyways, I'll go and make some adjustments to the plane. See you guys back on the runway. And look up the hypersonic thingy, and see you guys then. Okay, and we're back on the runway once again, and we've got the bomb strapped to the bottom of it, right in the middle, and we've got some ailerons on it. Canards are moved, canards. I got them mixed up with the winglets for a moment there, but the canards are moved to the front a little bit to compensate for the ailerons added lift, and yeah. So, I was thinking about maybe, I don't know, trying to add some fancy robotics to the engines, make them more VTOL-ish. That'd be a bad idea. Plane takes off perfectly fine. I don't need it. But I looked up hypersonic speeds, and I'm going to do that before I take off. And it's 1,710 meters per second, or that's the general area. I mean, I've went back and forth through a couple websites. Wikipedia said 1,710. Some other websites said 1,500. But we're just going to see if we can get it even into the thousands with this thing. So, or if we can even take off with this bomb on it. And it's going to glitch out. I'm not holding B, so it's just, just like sitting there with its engines at full blast, because planes do that nowadays. I didn't know that's what planes are into nowadays. Oh my. Sorry about that. I don't know. I just want to... Sorry. Yeah, I don't even know what would happen if you were going at hypersonic speeds in a plane and then you jumped out of it. Imagine, like, what would you feel? Would you just instantly burn up and you wouldn't feel anything? Or would it just, like, be a horrible death? I don't know. But what I'm going to talk about with you guys is that I was thinking with this plane, I was in my spaceplane hangar, and then I'm about to click fly, or whatever, for launch, and then I looked at the name, and it's like Untitled Spacecraft, and I thought, well, what am I going to name it? I started thinking about names, but then realized, names, I don't know. So I'm going to let you guys name the plane for me, and my friend just sent me something on Skype. However, thank goodness it's on my phone. So I'll actually try and tell him that I'm making a video while I take a plane off. Yeah, the bomb is making some difficulties as far as taking off goes. I think I might have put it a little far to the front or a little far to the back. Either that or it's just too heavy in the first place. But the plane can still get off the runway, eventually. Now we're going to let it fly upwards a little bit, see if we can still break that sound barrier. Sorry about that. Just had to tell him that I was making a video and then he shouldn't call me or even try because I will not respond. But yeah, so we got the bomb ready on the bottom, and I'm thinking I could drop it right now and destroy the narwhal, but I don't want to do that because I'm not at supersonic speeds. I'm going to try turning it around when we get up into the stratosphere and dropping it on the narwhal. I'm going to try it. Might not work, but, fun little challenge. I actually want to see if I can land this thing on the narwhal. No, I'm not going to do that. I would fail so badly. No arrestor hook, no air brakes, no reverse thrust, nothing. Just absolute fail. Can these things do reverse thrust? No, they can't. I'm sure I could if I put the reverse thrust engine on it from the Boats and Carriers mod. But we're going to see if I can actually hit the narwhal. So I didn't put a laser system on this, or a laser guidance system on it, so I can't be sure that I'd hit it. I'd have to just dumbfire it. But these bombs have such a huge radius that it doesn't matter. And another reason to have a really good really fast flying planes with bombs, at least in Kerbal Space Program, is because these bombs, they're insanely just overpowered. The way they work is that they create a virtual sphere around themselves, which is their radius, or with the radius of what their radius is. This one I think is like 5 kilometers or something. It's a lot. And anything within that sphere that was player made is just obliterated. No explosion effects, nothing, just disappeared, just cleared off the map. And if your plane that dropped that bomb is inside that sphere, then, oh my god, I tell him not to send me messages because I'm recording, and then he sends, oh, okay. Well, gee, that's nice! Oh my god. He gets to hear me making fun of him in the video, because he actually watches my videos, or at least I think he does. Oh well. But, yeah, so, I forgot what I was talking about. Good job, Dylan. You just messed up an entire video. Oh yeah, well, because if your plane is in that sphere and you drop the bomb, then your plane just gets obliterated in mid-flight, and you don't want that. When you're traveling at supersonic, hypersonic speeds, and then you're going to get out of that sphere pretty quickly and escape that. So that's probably another reason that this would be really good in Kerbal Space Program. Now, this plane is slowly inching its way downwards. I'm not going to let it do that, because that's mean. I'm just flying it straight forward now, to try and get it its maximum velocity, but anybody else who wants to, they can try flipping it around. Now, of course, you guys, since I'm asking you to name the plane for me, I'm really bad with names, as you may know, but if you don't, then you don't have to name the plane. Just, if you are watching this video and you think, oh, that would be a really cool name for this plane, put it in the comments. Otherwise, I'll have to just come up with a name myself. Yeah, I know. I'll probably name it something like Really Fast Plane. You don't want that to happen, do you? You'd humiliate the poor plane. And the pilot, which is Minton Kerman, who's apparently freaking out. Let's look at from his perspective. The canards are just flapping up and down. It'd be a little weird if you're flying a plane and you see the canards in front of you just flapping up and down. It'd be a little bit worrying if I was the pilot. Let's pitch back up. So, yeah, also, if you guys really like the plane and whatnot, then I might actually put up a download link if you really want it. I don't think that you do, though, because you can make this plane really easily. And it comes with a mod. You usually don't have to download things for modded aircraft. But yeah, I was really surprised that this thing flies so well. I mean, with the bomb, it does not fly brilliantly, and it does not get off the ground very easily. But without the bomb, it's a very nice plane. I really like it. No, I can't. I've always wanted to turn things into space planes, but this thing, I don't think I could do it. Space planes are just, they're so annoying. I always run out of fuel right when I get into space, and then I can't orbit. I can't get into an orbit because I don't have the fuel. Even with the default planes, I don't know. I'm sorry, you guys, but I just can't do it. Oh, no. That's what I get for using a physics warp. Oh, God. No. Oh, okay. Wow, my plane was wiggling and flapping like a bird, and that was just awful. We're not going to do that. We're doing real time. Nope. Get yourself back at an angle. Nope. Back at an angle. Alright, well, that didn't turn out the way I expected it to. If it flew like it did without the bomb, then I could just, fly it and then just turn on Kerbal Alarm Clock and just go do something else for a minute. But I have to keep my eyes on it now. And you guys get to watch it with me, yay! Actually, you don't. I'm probably going to cut the video right now. And, I'll show you guys when we get into the stratosphere, so I can turn around and bomb the narwhal, because I am a good friend. Alright, well, see you guys then. Bye. Alright, guys, I am back, and my plane is being a little bit fussy. It's not doing what I want it to. It keeps rotating, and then I'm holding down S, and it's still just nose-heavying all the way. But it's almost to supersonic speeds again. It's at basically the same point as it did last time. But, so, I mean, we've got a successful plane overall. I mean, yeah. So, good us. No, it's going down. I've had to turn SAS off because it was just not cooperating with me. Almost into the stratosphere. Come on, don't give up now, plane. Alright, so we're not going to turn around and go bomb the narwhal. I can't put up with this plane any longer with the bomb. It's just a little bit hard to fly, but I'm sure with some Kerbals putting some more advanced avionics systems, they can get a machine that can hold down the key S for them. I mean, that's not too much to ask, is it? No. No. But, yeah. Plane is almost... We've got a successful plane. We've proved everything that it needs to do. It can carry the bomb, it can fly, and it can fly to supersonic speeds. That's really all the plane needs to do. I mean, it's also got to take off, but, I mean, it's kind of a given that it can do that. I mean, if it's a plane. What good is a plane if it can't even get off the runway, right? Okay, the plane, it got off the runway for sure. It just flew off the end of it and then took off, like most of my planes do. But still, I mean, that works, right? I want to go up into the stratosphere. Oh well. Alright, we're gonna drop the bomb now and see what it's like. See if I can get a really good video thumbnail here. Ooh, it's just plummeting downward. And we're going to... Doop. What? We're faster than the bomb is, so it just, like, slides away behind the plane. That's awesome. Bye. I mean, I guess that's not really reality, because in reality, the plane, of course, would fly past it quite quickly, but it wouldn't just hover there, because the bomb does have some of the plane's emotion, or should I say motion. But yeah, alright, the bomb is about to hit the ground. See if we can escape its blast radius. And, oh, I don't know what that noise was, but I just heard a noise. And pull up away from the bomb. No, get away from it. It's going to kill us all. I don't think they actually explode when they hit the water. They might, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh no. That was actually a really bad thumbnail. I think I've got a better one that I took off camera. Ooh. Or that one would be actually quite nice. Wait, let's see. Here, turn back down, plane. Aw, yeah. That's pretty boss. Alright, so things almost hit the ground. Yeah, we've gotten away from it. That's 4.7 kilometers away. The thing only has a blast radius of 2 kilometers. Yeah, we escaped it. Woohoo! Barrel roll of victory! Yeah! Barrel roll to your death. Woohoo! Alright, so the plane is not too easy to fly with the bomb, and it's a little bit expensive, so we might not get some wonderful stuff. But before we end the episode, I have got some news about our old plane. Now, I know I say this at the beginning of each episode, and I'm about to make the plane, but I'll say it at the end instead, because, you know, then you guys actually stick around to the end instead of just, like, skipping in the middle of the video. So, our last plane, we made a profit of about $5 million off of it, which is pretty good. It's a cheap plane. It's quite good for what it does. I mean, it's not amazing, so there could have been more orders. Not the most we could have gotten, but it was very cheap because it had very little parts and very inexpensive. It was a propeller plane, which was nice. Our reputation wasn't wonderful from it. It didn't fly great. It wasn't able to carry the bomb, which was a horrible, bad thing. I mean, but a lot of other companies, what they came up with for the same challenge, they couldn't carry the bomb either, because it's just a little bit too much for carrier-based aircraft. And, yeah, so we didn't lose too much, we didn't lose any reputation. We got a little bit, but not as much as would have been desirable. So, yeah, I should probably come up with, like, a currency for reputation, but you guys don't know what to compare it to. If I said 5, then you think, is that a little or is that a lot? But, you know, whatever. So that's both our total money and reputation that we have so far. And next episode, we'll find out what we got from this plane, because I have a feeling we'll do quite nice with it. It's a good plane, but it doesn't fly too greatly. And also next episode, because it's the 3rd episode, we get to have our little competition with the other companies, see how we're doing against them. We joined a little bit late in this competition, but oh well. Alright, now I got the plane under control. Woohoo! Mech Jeb actually would be quite nice to have on this, so I could just use kill rotation. I've found that to be one of the more useful things on planes. It's also quite fun to have a plane that's prograde marker is always a little bit underneath where you're pointing, and then just hit prograde and the plane just goes like flipping around in circles. Mech Jeb for fun. Okay, not a very maneuverable plane, but it's a bomber. It's not a fighter or anything. It doesn't need to be too maneuverable. But there we go, you guys. That's been another episode by me. I'm Kerbal, and oh, wait, am I signing out right now? I guess I am. But yeah, I'm Kerbal, and I'll see you guys later. And yeah, so have a nice day.